it's around 20 centimetres below sort of the average category, so that is quite a significant amount, as you can see on the graph, the sort of shape. So we can see how far of excellent it's off of. It's around 40 centimetres below. So this shows that my client's score is considered below average and is a significant area of improvement. 5 centimetres from the average category. Only a small difference between the norms, and as the client scored that score, it can easily be improved. So it shows that the participant has the ability to improve those scores, which isn't that significant. That should say that they actually is actually around 9 centimetres from the average category. In terms of recommendations to improve the participant score to move into the average category, as they could fall into the poor category if not careful. I see they're only on this sort of borderline, about 1-2 centimetres, risking them going into the poor category. So that's something that we were looking to work on over the 6-week period, and using plyometrics and resistance training as strategies to improve. So the client will take part in 3 sessions a week, consisting of plyometrics and resistance training at 80% of their 1 repetition max. This would also involve them using compound exercises. So this would help to recruit multiple large muscle groups, which will contribute to overall explosive power, and not just focusing on, for example, leg muscles. We're going to focus on power of the whole body to increase the load. So one technique they could use to do this is the stronger shot workout, which is specifically targeted at footballers. It's a circuit session of around 30 minutes, which it involves adding progressive overload, more weight, less repetitions. For example, heavy front squats, they can use dumbbells as well for this, and then increase the weight of that. 2 sets of 12 repetitions, and then you would decrease the repetitions to 2 sets of 10, 2 sets of 8, with the weight, or whatever the participant feels that they can achieve with their 1 rep max. Kettlebell sumo deadlift, 2 sets of 12, decreasing the reps with weight. Dumbbell step up, 4 sets of 6 repetitions on each leg, so a total of 12 repetitions on each side per set. Split squat, 3 lots of 8 repetitions on each leg, so 16 reps in each set. Low back extension, 3 sets of 12. Ab wheel roll-outs, 3 sets of 8 repetitions, and planks, 5 lots of 30-second planks of any plank variation. And you can also add a weight as well as these. You can add weights for those, increasing the weight, decreasing the repetitions. Another technique they can use is depth jumps with a hurdle, jumping from one box to the floor, landing for a few seconds, maintaining the landing without falling over, before rebounding back up to jump over a hurdle or onto a box, whatever the client has access to. They would complete 2 sets of 10 of these, 10 reps, and make it more difficult by increasing the height of the hurdle and decreasing the height of the starting box. And they would aim to do 2 sets of these, and we would increase the sets over a period of 6 weeks, potentially increasing them to 5 sets with progressive overload. So, and another technique they could use is explosive power, like hill sprints as well, sprinting about 40 metres uphill, jogging back for recovery, anything like that would help to improve power. And we would measure that over a 6-week period, then re-perform the vertical jump test to see if that actually improved their power. And the last test that we have is the sit-up test. As my client was a male in the age 56 category, he scored 20, which is considered average. So he's actually at the top of the average category. You can see if we look at the graph, he's basically at the average level, the borderline. And in terms of excellent, anything above 31. So he's only around 11 sit-ups off, which is quite a significant amount of excellent, but in terms, he's only 1 sit-up off being in the above average category. So that's really, really good. It shows it's a strength. It also shows that he has the ability to improve further, as we said, to move into the above average category, even into the good category, which shows that he can maintain this. As he's at the top, there could be a potential for him to move into the below average category, but it's more likely that he would move up the categories. which shows that he has good muscular endurance for his sport of football, which shows he would be good at withstanding the change in dynamic over time and be able to, his muscles to endure the intensity of the game for the 90-minute duration. In terms of recommendations, I've said over the 6-week period we want to try and improve the client's muscular endurance into maybe the good/excellent rating, so we want to improve it by at least 5 sit-ups in 60 seconds, which I think is quite appropriate for my client. But some strategies that are more targeted towards improved muscular endurance would be a fartlek session we want the client to participate in twice a week, where they'll perform 2 sets of 12 reps at approximately 60% of their 1 repetition max, and this will be measured over a period of 6 weeks. The fartlek session variation that they could do is a Swedish fartlek. The first stage of this is to run 15 minutes at 75% of their maximum heart rate. Then they would perform a 40 meter sprint followed by 5 minutes running at 60% of their maximum heart rate. Then 3 minutes running uphill at 85% of their maximum heart rate, 2 minutes downhill at 65%, and then a 1 minute 30 at 90%, and then cooling down at 60% of their heart rate, maximum heart rate. So it's showing that they're varying the levels of 1 repetition max to work on the muscular endurance, the changes of intensity, the fartlek sort of session, which was really appropriate for football and changing with the changing intensities of the match. Another technique they can use is the dribble and shoot technique, which is quite specifically targeted at football, which I thought would be quite good for my client. They would stand at the back line with the ball, while there is another person, their partner, standing at the midfield line. They would, as fast as they could, dribble the ball to the player and pass to them. Then they would sprint off in the other direction and then receive the ball and take a shot on goal. This drill will be repeated 3 sets in total with 5 repetitions, with a rest of 60 seconds between reps and 2 minutes between sets. So it's showing muscular endurance, and it will give them time to actually sort of recover from, give them some sort of recovery time like in football when they would drop back into position. And we would do this over a period of 6 weeks, progressive overload, with that potentially increasing to 5 sets in total with 10 repetitions, and then decrease the rest period as well, around 40 seconds. So that's something that the participant can do to improve their muscular endurance. And here is my reference list for where I got my information from for this assignment, 8.3, administering fitness tests. Thank you for listening.